It's February 2023, and derailed covered hoppers are sitting beside the tracks near the Cargill feed mill in Gainesville, Georgia. But this is far from a new development. No, these have been sitting in this area for months. Here's some footage shot 2 days after they derailed. The cars came off the tracks on the afternoon of Friday, July 29, 2022, spilling tons of soybeans. They were part of a Norfolk Southern train that was switching cars here. The locomotives you see are used by Cargill and were not involved in all this. These soybeans are used in chicken feed, and Gainesville is sometimes called the poultry capital of the world. There are several processing plants and feed mills around here, and covered hoppers and grain trains are a common sight in Gainesville. So, what caused all this? Well, if you didn't know, railroads investigate their own accidents and report their findings to the Federal Railroad Administration. That data is then posted on the FRA's website, and here's how Norfolk Southern reported this one. NS Train 54R P423 derailed 4 cars due to reverse move through previously run-through switch and spilled approximately 16,000 pounds of grain. The cause was listed as H702, switch improperly lined. No injuries were reported, or at least no humans were injured. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, here's some footage I shot in February 2023. Let's look at the track setup here. You can see there are crossovers here, and crossovers are 2 turnouts that allow trains to go from one parallel track to another. Keep in mind, for a crossover to work, both switches have to be thrown. Alright, so the new development months after this derailment and soybean spill is that Norfolk Southern has now been fined $10,000 by the Georgia Environmental Protection Division, or EPD. Okay, here's a little background information about what happened after the derailment. In August of 2022, the Chattahoochee Riverkeeper, which is an environmental conservation organization, said on their Facebook page that they were working, quote, with authorities to monitor impacts of 3 train cars worth of soybeans dumped into Flat Creek, causing the death of dozens of fish. Now, I cannot confirm if all the soybeans the train cars were carrying ended up in Flat Creek, but you may be wondering how all those fish died. Well, the soybeans reduced the oxygen levels in the water. And by the way, Flat Creek is a tributary of the Chattahoochee River. According to an August 2022 news report by Fox 5 Atlanta, Norfolk Southern did pay for the cleanup. Fast forward to September 2022, and the Chattahoochee Riverkeeper then said on its Facebook page, quote, dissolved oxygen levels are still below normal in Flat Creek after a derailed train dumped soybeans into the tributary to the river. Norfolk Southern is still working on cleanup and will continue to track water quality, though it may be some time before conditions improve. Now, in February 2023, Norfolk Southern faces its $10,000 fine from the Georgia EPD. According to the EPD, the railroad company, quote, violated act and rules as a result of a railcar derailment allowing soybeans to be deposited into waters of the state. Norfolk Southern's corporate headquarters in Atlanta is only about an hour drive south of Gainesville. You know, in my opinion, a $10,000 fine seems like just a drop in the bucket for a large corporation like Norfolk Southern. Meanwhile, the derailment that's on many people's minds right now is the one that happened in East Palestine, Ohio at the beginning of February 2023. Only time will tell what long-term effects that incident will have on the people and the environment. Hats off to the Chattahoochee Riverkeeper and organizations around the country like them that help to keep our waterways safe and clean. What happened here in Gainesville was nowhere near as devastating as the events that took place in East Palestine, but it does show that even a minor derailment can have unforeseen consequences.